Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will learn about isthmus, cervix, fallopian tube and ovaries. So let's begin with isthmus. Location. It is situated above anatomical internal os and below histological internal os. It forms lower uterine segment in 70% cases during pregnancy, and in 30% cases, lower uterine segment is made by cervix during pregnancy. Now let's understand what is anatomical internal os and histological internal os with the help of diagram. So you can see that this is vagina, this is uterus, okay, this is external os, this one is external os, and this is internal os. This is histological internal os, okay, and this is the anatomical internal os. And the area between anatomical internal os and histological internal os is called isthmus. Okay. Now we will begin with cervix. So the shape of cervix is cylindrical. It has two parts, ectocervix and endocervix. What is ectocervix and endocervix? Ectocervix is a part of cervix which is protruding into the vagina, and endocervix is a part of cervix which is more internal to the uterus. Ectocervix, it is lined by squamous epithelium, and endocervix is lined by columnar epithelium. Now let's understand this with the help of diagram. See, this is uterus, this is vagina, okay. Now what is ectocervix? The part of cervix, okay, the part of cervix which is protruding into the vagina is ectocervix. So this part, as it is protruding into the vagina, this part is ectocervix, okay, this part is ectocervix. And the part of cervix which is more internal to the uterus, see this part, this is a just rough diagram so that you all can understand. This dot one, okay, this dot part is endocervix, which is more internal to the uterus is endocervix, okay. Now the ectocervix, it is lined by squamous epithelium, and the endocervix is lined by columnar epithelium. How you will remember this? See, as I have said you earlierly, that vagina is lined by squamous epithelium, okay. So the part of cervix which is protruding into the vagina, even that will be lined by squamous epithelium, okay. Now endocervix, as it is more internal to the uterus and uterus is lined by columnar epithelium, so even this part will be lined by columnar epithelium. This is just I'm making you all to understand and learn so that you all can easily remember. Now comes the transitional zone. What is transitional zone? The zone or the point where columnar epithelium gets converted into the squamous epithelium. Where columnar epithelium lies, it lies in endocervix, and where squamous epithelium lies, it lies in ectocervix, okay. So you can see from this diagram, as this is ectocervix and this one is endocervix, okay. The point where columnar epithelium gets converted into the squamous epithelium, okay. So that junction point, that point is known as squamo-columnar junction, okay, and that junction is more common site for cervical cancer. Now from what cervix is actually derived from? So it is derived from Mullerian duct, okay. Cervix, uterus, fallopian tube and upper part of the vagina is derived from Mullerian duct. Upper 2/3 part of the vagina is derived from Mullerian duct. I have said you this earlier. Coming to shape of the external os. So shape of the external os in non-pregnant women, where actually external os lies, see, this is external os, and the shape of external os in non-pregnant women, it is more circular than in post-delivered women, okay. In post-delivered women, it looks more slit-like, okay. This one is slit-like appearance. Now coming to support of cervix. So cervix is supported by two ligaments, okay, transverse ligament and suspensory ligament. Now the ratio of body to cervix, body also known as corpus, so the ratio of body to cervix during different ages. See, before puberty the ratio is 1:2, okay. During puberty the ratio reverses, that is 2:1. At reproductive age or adult age, it is 3:1. That is, the body is thrice than the cervical part. And at menopause, as both the organs get shrink, the ratio becomes equal, that is 1:1. Now coming to its blood supply. Okay, so blood supply of uterus, it is through uterine artery, and uterine artery is a branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery. This you have to by heart. And the cervix is supplied by descending cervical artery, which is again a branch of uterine artery. Now coming to nerve supply of uterus, cervix and vagina. So uterus is supplied through segment T10 to L1. Okay, cervix is supplied through S2 to S4 segment, and vagina is supplied by T11 to L1 segment. Let's begin with fallopian tubes. So fallopian tube, also known as salpinx or uterine tubes. Okay, coming to its introductive part, this is the primary site for fertilization. Okay, it transports gametes or ova and facilitates the formation of zygote. It supports zygote through its secretion until and unless it is the zygote remains into the fallopian tube. Okay, so it is supplied or nourished by secretions from the fallopian tube. Okay, before it is reached to the uterus. Now where it is located? Laterally to the uterus at upper margin of broad ligaments. Okay, it is located laterally at upper margin of broad ligaments. We will understand this with the help of diagram. See, this is uterus and these are the fallopian tubes. So where are fallopian tubes? So fallopian tubes, these are lateral to uterus. Okay, laterally to uterus at upper margin of broad ligament. This is the broad ligament. So these are situated laterally to uterus and at upper margin of broad ligament. It's 2 in number, the diameter is 3 mm and the length is 10 cm. There are 2 openings, okay, one is uterine and one is pelvic. See, one opening is opening into the uterus, okay, and the other opening is in pelvis. So it has 2 openings, uterine and pelvis. Now coming to parts, okay, so it has 4 parts. First is infundibulum, which is present at femoral end. Second is ampulla. Third is isthmus, and fourth is interstitium. Okay. Now, infundibulum is present at femoral end, as I have said earlier. Ampulla, it is the place where fertilization occurs. Okay, and it is most common site for ectopic pregnancy. What is ectopic pregnancy? Pregnancy other than the uterus, that is the zygote implants other than the uterus, that is in the fallopian tube or in ovary or in abdomen. Okay. Now isthmus. Isthmus is the second narrowest part of fallopian tube, and also it acts as physiological sphincter. Okay. It is the most common site for tubectomy. Okay. Tubectomy, where it is performed at the part of isthmus. Why? Because the isthmus, when a lady after doing tubectomy again wants to conceive, so isthmic reanastomosis has higher success result. Interstitium is the narrowest part, and this acts as anatomical sphincter. Now we will understand all this part with the help of diagram. See, this is uterus. Okay, this is fallopian tube. Okay, now these are 8 to 10 finger-like projections which are known as femori, and at the end of femori the part is present which is known as infundibulum. Okay, now from here to here, this is ampullary area, and this is the isthmic area. Where is the interstitium present? The point, okay, where the point from where the fallopian tube is entering into the uterus is known as interstitium. It is here. Now coming to lining epithelium and structures. So it is lined by ciliated epithelium. See, as ova has no cilia to transfer or to transport into the uterus. So how it is transported? It is transported through the ciliary epithelium present in the fallopian tube. These cilia are motile in function. So with their motility, ova is transported into the uterus. structures, it has outer serous coat, middle muscular coat, and the inner one is mucous coat. Now, what are the special cells present in fallopian tube is the PEG cells. Function of these PEG cells, these helps in capacitation of the sperm, so that only capacitated sperm fertilizes ova. Why? Because it allows only healthier sperms, okay, healthier sperm to fertilize ova. Coming to its blood supply. So blood supply, medial to 2/3 part of fallopian tube is supplied by uterine artery, and lateral 1/3 is supplied by ovarian artery. From this diagram you can understand that this is fallopian tube, okay. So medial 2/3 part is supplied by uterine artery, and lateral 1/3 part is supplied by ovarian artery. Now how to remember? See, the medial 2/3 part, it is closer to the uterus, so it will be supplied by uterine artery, and the lateral one, it is closer to ovary, so it will be supplied by ovarian artery. Coming to its nerve supply, the nerve supply of fallopian tube is T11, T12 and L1, and venous drainage is through uterine veins and ovarian veins. Now one thing I have to say you, that as uterus is supplied through segments T10 to L1, if a person nowadays, people say that they want painless delivery, so when they want painless delivery, at what segments you have to give the blockage? So as uterus is supplied by T10 to L1 segment, you have to give block at T10 segment. And if people are going through instrumental delivery like ventos or forceps delivery, so you have to give block at S2 to S4 segments. Now coming to ovaries. So let's begin with its introductive part. So ovaries are paired structures with almond shape and female sex gonads. These produce ovum or follicles, and when follicles matures, it releases ovum and sex hormone, that is estrogen and progesterone. Okay. Now, what is shape, color, and dimensions and ends of the ovaries? So it is oval or almond shape. The color is pinkish grayish. Dimensions are 3 by 2 by 1. Okay, that is the length, width, and the thickness. And ends are 2, tubal and uterine. Now, how you will learn this, that it has 2 ends, tubal and uterine. See, one end is closer to the uterus through ovarian ligament. Okay. Now the other end is towards the femoral end, and femoral is the part of ovaries, so it has 2 ends, that is tubal and uterine end. Now where this ovaries actually formed at? See, ovaries are initially formed at T10 segment, and then they descend down with the help of a structure called gubernaculum. Okay, and this gubernaculum structure later forms broad ligament. Now from where it is covered, or from what it is covered? It is covered by germinal epithelium, which is a cuboidal cells. Now coming to its attachment. See, ovaries laterally attached, these are attached to lateral pelvic wall. Okay, lateral pelvic wall through infundibular pelvic ligament. Okay, and attached to uterus with the help of ovarian ligament, and attached to posterior wall of broad ligament with the help of mesovarium ligament. Now we will understand this with the help of diagram. See, this red color one is ovary, this is uterus, and this is fundus, this is fallopian tube. So ovary is attached laterally to the lateral pelvic wall. Okay, attached to lateral pelvic wall with the help of infundibular pelvic ligament. First thing. And then it is attached to uterus with the help of ligament called ovarian ligament. See, this is the ovarian ligament. It is attached with the uterus with the help of ovarian ligament. And the third one, it attaches to the posterior wall of the broad ligament with the help of mesovarium. So this is the ovary. Okay, it attaches to the posterior wall. This is the broad ligament, attaches to the posterior wall of the broad ligament with the help of ligament. This is the ligament called mesovarium. Okay, this is the ligament which is surrounding ovaries. So this is the mesovarium ligament through which it attaches to the posterior wall of the broad ligament. Now coming to its blood supply. So it's very common that ovary is supplied by ovarian artery. This is easy to remember. Now ovarian artery, it is a branch of abdominal aorta. or aorta. See, this is abdominal aorta. Okay, artery is arising from the abdominal aorta, but at what segment? L2 segment, or at L2 level the ovarian artery arises from the abdominal aorta. What is the nerve supply? Nerve supplies through ovarian plexus, or we can say from T10 to T12 segment. Venous drainage. Venous drainage is through ovarian vein and uterine vein. Okay, venous drainage is through ovarian vein and uterine vein, as it has two veins. Okay, tubal and uterine, so it will be supplied by uterine vein as well as ovarian vein. Now the blood supply is also through uterine artery. Okay, it will be supplied by two arteries, ovarian artery and uterine artery. So uterine artery, as I have already said you, that it is a branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery, whereas the ovarian artery is a branch of abdominal aorta. Coming to surfaces, it has two surfaces, medial and lateral surface, and borders. Anterior border is mesovarian. Okay, mesovarian, and posterior border is free. Now from this diagram you can understand. See, this is ovary. Okay, this is the ovarian ligament. Okay, now it has border, this border. Okay, this empty one, this border, this is the ovarian border. Okay, anteriorly it has border, so this border is known as ovarian border. Okay, ovarian border, and the ligament which is surrounding ovary, okay, through which it is connected to posterior wall of the broad ligament. This ligament is known as mesovarian ligament, and the border name is mesovarian border, RIUN. Now posteriorly ovary has no border, so it will be, so we can say that it has free posterior border or free posterior. So here we can write anteriorly it has mesovarian border and posteriorly it is free posterior. Thank you guys. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.